Sam from Offline Campus here. Today we're going around the Raker, which is perfect for an adventure, a growing family. We can put a bike on the front or a boat on the top. Come with me, I'm going to show you around. I thought I'd start the tour at the back of the Raker. I think one of the most important things about a rear fold trailer is access to storage and being able to get to all of the storage like while you're packed away like this, so packing at the start of the trip. So underneath here, these are drawers that are underneath the bed. You can fully access them with the trailer packed away. So this is where we'd store clothes and stuff like that. Clothes go in a laundry hamper and then just go straight in here. This comes with dividers and you divide it up how you want. Later on when the trailer's open, you'll see that these just open into the main tent area. But then above here, this upper door, this accesses above the mattress. And so there's enough space for a porta cot. So to demonstrate it, I've thrown this massive chair. This is on top of the mattress, between the mattress and the floor. Just chuck that over there. So feel free to have a look. This is a full inner spring mattress from 40 Winks, and so it's nice and thick and comfortable. You can fit multiple pillows, blankets, a porta cot for a young one, kids' swags in there. There's so much space. You can even fit a massive laundry hamper at the back here, so that as you're going through town, you just do your washing. There's a lot of space. Next, we're going to go straight into opening the trailer. I've already leveled the trailer with airbag suspension and the legs down at the back. There's a simple spirit level on the front, and you just jack up one side to get it level so that your bed's level, your kitchen's level, all that sort of stuff. First things first, unlatch the lid. Already got the lower door down there. Now that that's all ready to go, we'll open it up. It's all electric. There is a bit of redundancy built into it, but the electric is the primary opening of the trailers. Wait for it to all wake up. As you can see, the awning's already attached onto here, so it always stays attached to the trailer. Often I'll get someone on the other side to just worry about that little bit there. That clunk, that was our camera guy's light that he left inside. Thank you very much. As you can see, it's all open. Next thing is the feet on the end of the floor. I can't do this left-handed very easily, so I'm going to have a look. So I don't know about you, but I'm like very right-handed. Those feet on the end of the floor can probably wind down this far, and they're always there. And so if you're camping on a slope, it suits the sloping down this way really, really well, and it can marry down onto the floor. And then with them down, like this is solid, and it's really nice to walk inside. We'll reset up inside, and I'll show you the inside bit now. All right, I've stepped in the trailer. First thing, turn on the lights. And now we'll do the inside setup. End pole first. This is all captive, and so you don't have to find anything. You don't have to go get them from another pole bag or something like that. That's already stood up. And then we're just going to extend these poles here. Sorry, brand new Velcro. Drop that one down. If you're a bit shorter, there's a step here that you can stand on, or if you're like me, you don't really need to. I always like to tension one and then go back to the first one, and you always find just a little bit more tension. And then these spreaders go out right down to the end here. The beauty is that everything is captive, from the lighting to the poles. You can set this up in a hurry at night with kids screaming, and you've got kids bedding on the mattress here. So you can quickly set up, turn on the lights, quickly set up, and then everything's straight on the floor, and kids can essentially go straight to bed. Or if it was pouring with rain, then you're just going to chill out in here. There's now these drawers, which you can't see, but I'll show you in a sec. Open straight into the space. It's fantastic in here. So I wanted to make sure I give you a proper tour of how much space there really is in the Raker. In the back of the floor here, it is intended so that you can fit like 3 Joey swags along the floor and still have space at the other end. Or the floor being 3 meters long, you can go 2 full-size stretchers if you've got teenagers, and again, still have access on the other end. To my right towards you, we can do a kids room as well, the same as we can on a domino. And so if you just want heaps of space, if your kids have got friends coming or something, you can zip that on. You can add another 2.5 meters to the tent. But come on inside, I'm going to keep showing you around. To the side here is the ensuite. You'll get a really good perspective of this if you jump onto the virtual tour on the website. There's heaps of space, have a hot shower on one side, portaloo in the corner, but you can have a hot shower, step in here, stand on a bath mat, dry your feet, close out the drawer, that sort of thing. And then if we jump up onto the bed, we often in a Raker would do like a privacy curtain here. So if you've got kids on the floor, gives a little bit of privacy for parents in the evening, or like blocks the light out if they're trying to sleep and you're just trying to chill out up here. But we move right up to the bed head, and there's a really nice leather bed head, apart from the 58 pillows that my wife's put up here for me. There's a really nice bed head here, so you can sit here, like read a book, little cup of tea or something like that in the morning, and it's really quite comfortable. Space behind the bed head for, you can throw your book up there, you can access drawers and storage from up here as well. It's properly comfortable because the mattress, it's just from 40 Winks. So we send you to the mattress shop, you choose your mattress, you put it in the trailer, and you can still fit all the kids' bedding on top. There's heaps of lighting, reading lamps, so you know if you have to get out at night and go to the toilet, you can turn on just a little light. Or if you're gonna read and your partner's asleep, then you can do that. There's heaps of space. As you saw, it was a really fast setup. So I always joke that awnings are the things that divorces are made of, and I'm going to show you that ours is a little bit simpler. Ours is genuinely a one-person setup, and it only takes a few minutes. So we start with the awning already attached to the camper trailer. It stays there. Our first display trailer, it's genuinely never come off in the last 5 years. So first things first, 3 poles. I've already got them out, but they're all normally stored under the fridge. We'll show you that in a bit. But the pole just clips on first. There's like a little clip up the top here. And then I grab a little pin and we just pin this in. So this is in 2 spots. We are making the awning completely independent of the ground, which is really nice. It means that there's no pole. So that means around the kitchen, when you set up in this, we call it the quick awning mode, there's no pole around the kitchen that you have to sort of like walk around or bump into, or the kids are going to knock over or something like that. And then there's a third one. This is the one pole that I apologise, you have to have a guide rope. So, but I think that, to be honest, if you can set up a tent and a camper trailer and put in 1 peg, I think you're doing okay. Pull the awning down. As you can see, like I don't need a ladder, I don't need a stool or anything like that. The awning there pushes into like a little sock in the canvas that supports it. And then basically you're just gonna like, oh, I'll guess that's about high enough for now. You can always adjust it later easily. This one, again, there's another sock here. So you just slide your pole into the sock. I haven't really spoken about how Australian made these trailers are. Even the poles are made in Australia. And then the third one over here, I've got the one that's clipped down on the trailer. They've obviously already come loose a little bit, that's all right. I'm gonna guess about there. Nip this one up. Grab my rope. As you can see, pre-prepared. Drag it over this way a bit. How high do we want that? About there for now, that'll do. This last bit of canvas in the quick awning, we just flip it up underneath. Velcro's up out the way. If you had like bad weather, there's another pole. You can pull that corner out. and attach that on here. And then we've got this beautiful big extension that goes out the other side. I'm just going to tidy up the other end so that you see I'm doing the whole job. So sorry, I've like clipped on the front of the awning onto the spring pole here that just slips in. And then this big flap here, like the back, this just Velcros up out the way. Once that's up, you can check all your heights, make sure it's sitting really nice, that sort of thing. Maybe like a tiny bit higher. So what about lighting under the awning? All the lighting's already captive. All you gotta do is just like plug it in quickly. Oh look, it's already on. And this one too. And all the lighting, there's a third one down the other end, but all the lighting is orange or white. And so the orange is fantastic for bugs. The white obviously provides more light and is easy to cook under. But it's really nice to cook under the kitchen with it like this. So you imagine you're cooking here, you got heaps of light above your head, heaps of kitchen space. If it was really, really sunny or a lot of rain, the awning will come out another 900 mil with a little zip-on extension. When you zip on the extension, you just drop the center pole back down, so then you're working at sort of this sort of height. Again, don't need a ladder or anything like that. Now we've got the awning up, let's do a little tour of the kitchen. We'll start off with what's standard in all of our trailers is a 95 litre Dometic fridge and freezer. You can run this as 2 fridges, fridge and freezer, switch half off if you want. It's massive, there's food for weeks or for a family in there. Above the fridge, we have a large drawer. We put pots and pans, cutting boards, even our toaster and our kettle go in here. You can get to this from behind the bed head as well. So you can put midnight snack or treat the back of this with personal belongings, that sort of thing. You could even put a little divider there and keep it a bit more private. Shut that away. Next to it is our pantry. Everyone goes, wow, that's a big pantry, but it actually is that big. So it's designed to stand up a sauce bottle inside. You can fit a 6-pack of beer in there. 2 cans will stack on top of each other. There is so much space in here. As we continue through the kitchen, we've squeezed heaps into the kitchen itself as well. We've got a little nook and cranny here for dishwashing liquid, paper towel, that sort of thing. And on this side, we have 2 massive drawers, cutlery in one, utensils in the other. And I think it's the little things that make a difference. Like the utensil one, there's a shelf above, so your Barbie mate and your tongs don't get caught as they open up. And the last drawer, bowls and plates, just in the end here. We fit bowls, plates, coffee cups, like other glasses, maybe even whiskey glasses as well, for a family of 5 in that one drawer. The main part of the kitchen though, I'll move that carpet out of the way, we've got hot and cold water plumbed through. It's always plumbed through, so you basically turn on your water pump and off you go. And we've got 3-burner gas stove. Induction is a choice. You've got to have an appropriate electrical system as well. Induction is really nice to cook on, but for gas, we're permanently plumbed as well. And so there's no connecting of bayonets and stuff like that. It's perfectly legal if it's done right. It's just one less thing to set up. The last little thing in our kitchen is something that we added very early on in the design. It was inspired by my beer always getting knocked over when we set up camp. And so we've got this little shelf. You can actually open it first as you're starting to set up, somewhere to put a drink, somewhere to clear the bench and put stuff there. We'll often sit our toaster or coffee machine and stuff up there as well. It's just a nice little extra piece of space where you've got 2 40-volt power and drinking water, both in the same spot. That kitchen, as you see it, like flows across our whole range of trailers. So whether you're looking at a Solitaire or a Rider or the Raker, this whole area feels exactly the same. As we come around the trailer, the front of the Solitaire here represents just one of the options that we have. All of these options go right across the range, so whether you're looking at a Raker, a Domino, a Rider, or one of our Solitaires. Here we've got large 400 litre toolbox, so this is the upgraded toolbox. ISI bike rack on the top. What's good to note is the bike rack goes over the top of the wood rack, and so we can have firewood and 2 or 4 bikes on the top. Gas bottle for your Weber-Q on this trailer. Some of the new Max Trax light on the front, very cool by the way. And we do like an extended drawbar as well. So if you have a Prado or if you've got a ute where the tray overhangs the ball, piece unbolts, we put a longer section in there and it just gives you a little bit more room behind the back and make sure you don't hit the tray on there. We do a few other options like motorbike on the front. If jerry cans are really important to you, 2 jerry cans with a slightly smaller box, we can definitely tailor this section to however you want. So now we go down the right-hand side of the trailer, or the driver's side. First door here, this is opposite the fridge. We've got a drawer up above the open storage area. This is a really good spot for a book, a laptop. We'll even store like a portable induction hot plate in here if you've got a gas one and you want to have that with you. You can get to this from inside the trailer, and so it's an awesome spot for Panadol and anything that you might want during the day outside or at night from inside the tent without having to get out of the bed. Underneath there's enough space for like a Weber Q or a Portaloo, like a little coffee machine. I'll put the kids' footy and stuff like that in there as well. There's heaps of space. Diesel heater, the fuel tank for your diesel heater in here, and pressurization fan behind that. Next door down, table storage. Any of those 4-foot fold-in-half tables just fit in there. Some ever so slightly better than others, so if you've got a question, feel free to chat to us about which brands really work the best. On this side, in this door here, this is a really good spot for like hoses and extension cords. I can fit a 10-meter hose, a 10-meter extension cord, the shower hose in the ensuite, and then we've got a little selector valve here as well. This is for choosing, is my shower going to be coming from the drinking water tank, the 75-litre drinking water tank, or are we showering from the main tank, which might have bore water in it? That's at 105 litres on a Raker. Both those 2 tanks are standard within the Raker, and you can just choose which one you're showering from that easily. I mentioned the 2 water tanks, 75 litres of drinking water and 105 litres in the main tank. Both of our tanks fill really, really well. So if you just take the nozzle off the end of your hose and poke it in there, you can pretty much just go flat out with your hose, and you'll fill within just a few minutes. We don't really have airlock issues and stuff like that. While we're here, I thought we'd just talk quickly about wheels and tyres and suspension. And so we'll match wheels and tyres to most vehicles. And so whether you've got a Prado, whether you've got a Ranger, whether you've got a Land Cruiser Ute, or even like a 300 series Land Cruiser, big tyres and small, we're going to match the offset and the stud pattern to your car. We always maintain the same track width. It happens to be the same track width as a Land Cruiser. So we change the suspension design on every single trailer, meaning that your spare off of the trailer could go onto your car, and hopefully vice versa, depending on what rims you have on the car. If you're wondering if we can suit your car, just have a chat with us. There's a few cars that we can't do, but just have a chat. Before we finish, on this side, down the back here, we've got air controls, which I think we touched on at the start, leveling of the trailer, and there's also like an air line, so you can go right to the front of your car and pump your tyres up as well. And this is briefly what the ensuite looks like on the outside. If you get the pole configuration right, a couple of pegs down the bottom, and you don't need any guide ropes out here. I've only ever put a guide rope on one of these ensuites once, and that was because it was like 90k an hour winds coming in on a weird angle. Every other time, you just get the poles right and the pegs down the bottom, and it stays like this, working really, really nicely. The final thing down this side of the trailer is on the roof, on the Raker and the Domino, we have inbuilt solar into the canvas of the tent. It's something that only we do. You never have to touch it once it's installed, but as soon as you open up the trailer, you've got instant solar straight away. It works really well, 350 watts on a Raker, 175 on a Domino. The last thing of our tour is the closing. The big question is, how long does it actually take? So I'm just going to show you. We're going to set a little timer, but before I do that, I thought I might just mention canvas, fully Australian made. It's nothing but Australian cotton canvas, and so they're very, very waterproof. They all leak a little bit at the start, and then once it shrinks under the trailer a little bit. I'm not convinced that hosing it down, seasoning like that does a lot of work, but I think a bit of rain does the most job. Little tidbit there for me. I'm going to go through a full pack up, awning, kitchen, the whole trailer and everything. And so we're going to set a little timer and we'll see how long it takes. So here we go. as you can see, it's quite a quick process. If you get it right, there's like no heavy lifting of canvas, just a little bit of tucking in the right places. It's definitely a one-person job. It's not really that much faster with two, but I always think that, honestly, that the pack up around the campsite takes longer than the actual closing of the trailer. That was a full pack up apart from the ensuite. If you've got any questions about the Raker, give the office a call. We can talk about options that are available and how we can expand this, boat on the top or motorbike on the front, things like that. Give us a call if you've got any questions.